Bruh, I think it's going 7. I think it's going 7. All that nowhere, and we back with another video. I go by the name of Stealth. We got Doughboy Bush. We are in the middle of the NBA playoffs, man. A lot of things to talk about. Pacers are up 3-1 on the number 1 seed Cavaliers in the East, which is kind of crazy. We got the Denver Nuggets and OKC. I think it's tied 2-2 as of now, as of the time we're making this video. We got the Timberwolves and Golden State series. What is that series? That's 2-1, I believe. Not Memphis, Minnesota, right? Is up 2-1.
Yeah, 2-1.
So they're playing tonight. Also, we have the draft lottery tonight. Giannis is talking about we got a lot going on in the NBA right now, man. It's, it's a good time to be an NBA fan right now. But if this is your first time to the channel, please hit that sub button, like the video, comment, let us know what you think about the topics today, and we are going to get straight to it, man. So where do you want to start? All right, let's go. Let's go east. Let's talk about the Pacers and these Cavaliers, man. Now, I'm be honest with you. I'm surprised. I ain't had the Pacers getting this far, to be real with you. You know what I'm saying? Now it's looking like they're going to the Eastern Conference finals to face either Boston or New York. Now I'm going to be real with you. They're not beating either one of those teams. They're not. So it all stops there. But it's just kind of weird, man. Like, and I know you've heard me say this earlier in the season, and throughout the season, the Cavaliers, man, I never really bought them as a number 1 seed. I don't know, man. I kind of felt like Boston was kind of like, kind of cruising a little bit to get to the playoffs. Right. I feel like the Knicks were kind of up and down. We saw Embiid, he was out all season. I feel like Philly would have kind of made a play for a top 3 for it, so I feel like the Cavs are really kind of like right where they should be as far as like with the Pacers being able to keep up with them and compete with them, because the Pacers, they do play hard. They shoot the 3 ball well. They play defense and they have their own pace, right? The thing about the Pacers is Halliburton, he can get cold. Like, Halliburton get cold a game or 2, and it's like, okay, now you're right back in it. So I don't feel like the Cavs are out of it. They do have to win 3 straight. But again, I always say, when it gets to this, that cliche, take one game at a time. But what are your thoughts on this series with the Pacers and the Cavs?
Well, I mean, I felt like it was going to I thought it was going to go ahead and be a tough series. I didn't think this was going to be no pushover. I felt like they were evenly matched.
You felt evenly matched?
I felt like they're evenly matched. I mean,
you don't feel like that's prisoner in the moment talking? Because really, going into the series, you felt like the Pacers.
Yeah, yes, definitely did. I feel like both these teams, man. To be honest with you, if you stick them in the West and put them in the Western Division, they're top. Not even in the top 10. I would say.
Pacers aren't making the playoffs in the West.
Right, and
Cavs would have been like 6th, 5th, 6th.
A play-in. Well, I said okay, a play-in team. If you want to,
Cavs would have been better than play-in. I think. The reason I say that is because they play defense. Donovan is a really good. Donovan Mitchell's probably got to be top 5 guard.
And that's gonna hurt him. Hey, that's gonna hurt him too because he's injured. And they don't even know if he's even gonna go ahead and play in the next game. So that's gonna go ahead and hurt their.
But yeah, I'll let you get back to your point. Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But no, what I was saying, I do feel like they're evenly matched. From a point guard standpoint or backcourt, I feel like they're evenly matched in the front court too as well. The only difference is that, like you said, the Cavaliers do play more scrappier defense. And Donovan Mitchell being the leader of that squad, if he's on point, he can go ahead and get you some buckets to actually go ahead and try to close out this series, especially with them being deep. I think Darius Garland didn't play the last 2 games?
First 2?
Yeah, it was the first 2.
He played last game.
Yeah, so you had
in the last. I think he played the last 2 games, but I think the first 2 he didn't play. Okay. Evan Mobley too. Evan Mobley. You know what that tells me? Did they take the Pacers lightly? Like, y'all go ahead and get some rest. Like,
yes. Yeah, definitely. I feel like they did too.
And I feel like that's why they're up. Like if you think about it, that's why they're up. Because I feel like if you had Evan Mobley and Garland playing from the game 1,
this is different.
I don't think the Pacers are 3-1. I could be wrong, but
I would probably say they would be tied up. I would say it'd be 2-2 right now. I would think
maybe.
And I would say, hey, this series will possibly go into maybe a game 6, game 7 because of just the matchups and things of that nature. But since we didn't have, Garland and we didn't have Evan Mobley play them first 2 games. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I think both them games that they actually played in the playoffs, they were both won by a few points, right? Or the second game was a blowout.
You know what? Let's look at that just for reference, because I want to be able to have the details when we're kind of talking about this stuff. But no, not having them for those first two games
kind of affected them.
It did. It did. No, for sure.
So when you have two of your top dogs out, for reinforcements to go ahead and be able to go ahead and play that scrappy defense that you're known for, get you some buckets on the other end when Donovan Mitchell is kind of ice cold or something of that nature. You have these reinforcements to go ahead and kind of help you out. But since they set out, you can go ahead and kind of tell what the team has actually been doing and how they've been playing of lately, which hasn't really been up to their competition. Well, they haven't played, I guess, beyond their competition. Mm-hmm. They're kind of like, lightweight. They feel like it's a little light. It's Indiana. We don't have to really worry about it. They don't have nobody seriously on this team that we're scared of. I felt like, but they're playing good ball. You got Toppin over there playing good. You got Halliburton playing good. Siakam is playing really well for him. So I do feel like, the scrappier teams kind of go ahead and catch you off guard. You don't think about, I don't know if they can make a deep run into the playoffs because of how they look on paperwork. So they did have Evan Mobley in game one, but there was no Garland. Evan Mobley, he actually played really well game one. He had 10 rebounds and 20 points. Donovan had 33. Ty Jerome had 21. We're talking about game one now. But they lost 121 to 112. And in game two, that was that last second shot, that 3-point shot that Halliburton made. Right. So that put them up 2-0. So I don't want to call that luck, but that was, let's just say that was a fortunate thing for the Pacers, a fortunate result for the Pacers for him to make that shot, because then you would have been tied 1-1. Cavs come back and win game 3. They would have been up 2-1. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, and that's what happened. I don't want to call it luck. It's not luck. He made the shot. There's time. There was time on the clock, but at the same time, it's like, again, not having Darius Garland play those first two games, it's the playoffs, man. Unless you're really, really, are you injured or are you hurt? You know what I mean? If you're just hurt, get out there and play. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sure exactly. Do you know what his injury was? No, I do not. Offhand.
Darius Garland injury. What was his? Okay, let me just see what his injury was, because I was very curious about that. A sprained left big toe, and that's hard to run on that. It is hard to run on that.
Yeah.
No, it's because I've actually hurt my big toe and I couldn't even walk. So So yeah.
Wasn't that the issue that Shaq had at one point during the playoffs where his big toe was messed up and he really couldn't play like that, or his mobility wasn't?
No.
No. Are you sure?
Oh no! I'm saying I didn't see that. I didn't know that was.
I thought that was like one of Shaq's. I thought that was like one of Shaq's issues when him and Kobe and them had made the run.
Yeah, possibly.
Where his big toe was like kind of bothering him, and he really didn't have the
lateral movement to be able to cut. For sure.
And then to be able to jump and things of that nature.
No, for sure.
Like I said, all in all, this is a better season than what I thought it was going to go ahead and be. I initially looked at the series and thought, okay, well, you know what, the Cavs been playing. I was thinking
Cavs in 6. That was kind of like what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And who knows? It might. 3-1. They only need one more game to go ahead and close it out. Can it happen tonight?
But see, to me, the Pacers are like Jekyll and Hyde, because you'll have. And that's kind of like how these playoffs have been. You'll get one team to blow out another team, and the next game they're blowing out the team. And then it's like, man,
very
but the Pacers, like Halliburton specifically, sometimes he'll score 30, 15 assists, and the next game 4 points, 6 assists, 2 rebounds. It's like, where Halliburton go? And I think that's why he got that most overrated voted for by all the NBA players, because people are looking at him like, he's cool, but here's the thing, right? Let's talk about that real quick before we can get on to the next subject. I understand that it does come off offensive when you hear oh, you're overrated. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what overrated doesn't mean you're trash or people think you're not good. It just means that where most people might rate you, you're not really there. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's just say people are putting you at an 8 out of 10. You're mostly like a 6.5. Doesn't mean you're not good.
Right.
But and I feel like that's what
I
feel like that's what the players are kind of thinking, and it might be because you're inconsistent. Not because of your talent, but because of your inconsistencies that they feel like you're overrated. And if that's what they're saying, if that's what the players are saying with that vote,
and they play against
you. So
this is coming. It's not coming from unbiased opinion.
Nah.
From people who don't get on that hoop court that just watch you play in and night out or 10-year basketball games. These are actually players who play against you.
And that means that more than a few players said that about you. So you kind of have a reputation in the league. Like, it's probably like they probably know something like, okay, if you just kind of do this or do that, you can get him off his game. And, so he's not really like that. But,
right.
But now, what other series we got out? We got Boston and we got New York. Interesting series. Now, New York, I feel like, and I've heard other analysts say this, and I kind of said this last summer. The Knicks are kind of built to go up against the Celtics team. When you go get, Mikal Bridges,
Towns.
You got Towns, right? You got OG, you got Hart. You're kind of built to go up against that juggernaut in Boston, because they're they got some guys over there: Porzingis, Tatum, Brown, Horford, Holiday, Derek White. It's a deep team. And now people got to start giving props to like the Hausers, the Pritchards. Payton Pritchard's a really good NBA player.
They've been hoping for these cats in the playoffs.
He's a good NBA player.
Yeah, he is. Definitely a scrappy guy.
What do you think of that series? What's your thoughts on that series?
Well, it's funny that you said that because I know a lot of the analysts, from other different sports channels have been saying like, oh, well, Boston is done. Or not Boston, but I mean, what's called the Knicks are done now that Boston went ahead and got to their groove and won this last game. We think they're going to go ahead and just take the rest of this series and this is going to go ahead and be over with. I don't think that. I think that this is going to go ahead and go 7. And may the better team win on that 7th game, and you just don't know who it's going to go ahead and be. You don't know if it's going to be the Knicks.
Well, the Knicks are up 2-1 right now, man. Hey, they win tonight. If they win tonight, whew.
Hey, I think it would be a different ball game and series, and we all know this. If Porzingis was not hurt,
I said that too.
Playing at I know we talked about it through text. I know I've talked to a couple other people, but yeah, if Porzingis is at full health, I think this will definitely be a very, very different series that we're talking about.
And if you're Boston
right now,
if you're Boston, I feel like you have to win this series if you're talking about stringing together some championship runs and years, and and trying to go back to back, because they did win last year. But if you're them, this team is going to get broken up because that salary cap is not going to hold up. Like, I want to say, like, the last time I saw, like, what everybody was making, everybody was like 50, 40, 50. Like, two guys, what I'm saying? We got Brown and Tatum making a crazy amount. Porzingis is making. So somebody's going to have to go between. I think it's going to be.
It's going to be more than one. It's definitely.
I think it's going to be Drew Holiday that goes, because I feel like out of everyone, I'm not saying that he doesn't play an important role, but I feel like he's on paper the least productive out of everybody, out of those guys.
Hey,
and I feel like, but somebody has to go. Well, here's the thing. No. But here's the thing. It's not going to be Brown. It's not going to be Tatum. So now you're looking at Porzingis.
You don't think so?
No. Why? What?
You don't think they're going to go ahead and blow that up? And
not those two.
Try to figure it out.
No, those are your anchors. Okay. But then I think you keep Porzingis.
So you feel like Porzingis is going to be good? Well, you have to go ahead and you have to get rid of at least.
And I feel like you keep Derek White, because bro, he makes big shots. Unless you feel like you can like maybe get that out of Payton Pritchard. Maybe move him to the starting lineup.
You could.
Maybe you could do something like that.
Yeah, they're definitely going to look different, and if
they're going to look different.
And I hope that with the ramblings going on right now, with whoever made the statement of breaking up this team, is not affecting their play on the basketball court, because it seems like they're mentally not there at times. I remember the last game when they were down by, was it 2 or down by 1, when Tatum was just playing around and dribbling and ran out the clock and didn't get a shot up. It's like, come on, man. Like,
or that game, I think it might have been game 1 or 2 when Brown, it was like a couple seconds left and Brown got the ball and Mikal Bridges just took the ball from him and the Knicks won the game. I'm like, just stuff like that. It's like,
yeah, that situation right there where, like you said, Mikal took the ball away from the other game where they were down, and Tatum actually didn't even get a shot up to at least attempt to go ahead and actually win the game.
Yeah.
So it's like these moments right here are very, very vital, and this is where you actually build the championship pedigree. This is where championships are built off of, and championship teams are built off of, when you can go ahead and cut down on these crucial mistakes in close games. And I think they have been having a problem with doing that lately.
If the Knicks win tonight, they play in about 40 minutes. Game 4, the Knicks, I believe, are on their way to the NBA Finals, because they're not going to look like how the Cavs do against the Pacers. No, they're not. I don't see that team losing. If the Knicks lose to the Pacers, but whoever wins this series, let's just say that. Say Boston wins tonight.
I think we both had said that when we made our predictions, that whoever came up
is going to the finals
matchup here was the ones that was going to go ahead and go to the finals.
All right, so now we got So we said it in our predictions, right? I believe, yeah. I think we both said Boston. Yeah. So, but we'll see. Hey, these Knicks, man, they ain't looking like no slouches, man. So we gonna see.
No, they're definitely not. I know it's your second team, man. They out here playing good right now. Man. So
we gonna see. Let's go all West though, man. OKC and Denver, bro. I think it's going 7. I think it's going 7.
I didn't predict this to go ahead and go 7. I think I had them going 6, and I had Denver actually winning that series.
It's 2-2 right now. 2-2. Best of 3. It's a best of 3. It's a best of 3 at this point.
You know who else is not playing really good though, too, as well?
Jokic.
It's Jokic. Jokic has not been playing
at all. Brian Windhorst, I don't know if you saw him this morning on First Take, but he made a really good point.
I did.
He's tired.
Yeah, he did.
He is tired. Winded.
Yep, sure did.
Because Jokic is missing shots. So I'm watching the game like, damn, like you missed that. Like he's missing shots that he normally makes. So I'm just like, damn, but OKC, man. And that's the thing the Cavs did too. The reason why they were number 1 in the East, and the reason why OKC was number 1 in the West, because both of those teams play really good defense all year. Those are the 2 top, the defensive teams in the league. So OKC's playing really good defense on Murray. I noticed that he was having a hard time getting a shot off. I want to say it was like a shot that he made down the stretch to where he had to get like a step back to create separation. He made like a nice little mid range, but it's hard for him to score even off of screens. They're going OKC's going over the screens and they're right back in the space. Like, where you going? Like, I'm here. And it's like, damn, like they're smothering the Nuggets. And I feel like if the Nuggets are playing any other team, I feel like this series would be like probably 3-1 right now. But I gotta give the Thunder props, man. As far as their defense, you know what I'm saying?
You said, hey, now I ain't gonna lie, you had them as your overrated team. You kept saying all year long, they're overrated.
I did. Well, I feel like offensively, they were overrated because I feel like they were too Shea dependent. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. Offensive, and he would just always take all the shots. But they're playing as a team. They're playing as a team. They play defense. They play hard.
Hey, you know what? It's crazy that you said that because I heard some ramblings earlier today. I forgot on which sports channel I was watching. Oh, I think it was Nick Wright and them on
First Things First.
On First Things First. And they were talking about, back to talking about the Giannis situation, as far as him wanting to leave and possible potential landing spots for him. And I know Nick Wright had put up on the jumbotron or on the board saying, trade Giannis for SGA and a couple draft picks to the Thunder if OKC doesn't get past Denver.
Nah.
And I'm thinking like, why would you want to go ahead and do that? Because he was saying like the way it was put up that the trade would work out. So it's not like one of them ones that would be like, all right, it'd be rejected.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like Giannis going to the Thunder, and in return, it would be like 3 first-round draft picks and an SGA.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, why would you want to go ahead and do that? Like, why would you want to go ahead and blow the team up? Because SGA is younger.
Mm-mm.
Still, Giannis is better.
You know what I would do?
Out there because I know this.
So he was saying trade SGA
for Giannis.
I would look at a Chet package and maybe some picks.
And that's what
I would look at a Chet package.
Yeah, that's what. What's the other guy that's on the? I can't think
Chris
of his
Broussard
name right now.
Wilds.
Yeah, Broussard.
Wilds,
Broussard. No. Broussard. He was saying I would let Chet go ahead and go.
And I know OKC. I know they got to have some first round picks.
They do.
Yeah.
And so he was saying trade Chet and put in a couple first round picks to get Giannis.
I would do that.
Play with Hurst.
I would do that.
Yeah, have Hartenstein.
And if you're the Bucks,
SGA,
you would still have a decent player. You would have picks. Like maybe you could even do like a Chet. Maybe could you do like a maybe like an Aaron Wiggins, Chet.
Mm-hmm.
You probably got to get another player in there somewhere. Maybe like a Cason Wallace. and like some picks or something.
Yeah, picks, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
so yeah, I seen that, but I was like, well, man, why would you want to? I mean, I understand you're getting Giannis, but it's like, the Thunder. I think you might have said this beforehand that it's like the Thunder are one player away. The Houston Rockets are one player away, and they just need that one player who's a superstar that can go ahead and take them over that hump to put them in that category.
I ain't gonna lie, Shea and Giannis.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. So my thing is, like I say, yeah, man. I mean, it's gonna be a tough series to see. Now, if OKC does go ahead and get past Denver, then do you still have that same conversation? Do you still want to go ahead and bring in Giannis if you get past him? Do you still want to bring in Giannis if you happen to go ahead and get to the finals?
All right, so I'm glad you segued into that. Where do you see Giannis going? Because we just heard today that Giannis is now open to being traded or, looking to other options and things like that, which we talked about. We kind of knew. We were like, hey, if the Bucks lose, that's done. Now, but we didn't anticipate Dame Lillard's Achilles popping either, though. So that was a whole new intangible or a whole new factor into the equation to where it's like, because he's probably not going to play next year, right? So it's like, dang, Giannis going to be out there by himself. They have no money. They have no trade assets. They have no picks like that. So it's like
at this point, don't hold him hostage.
It's both for the team. It's best for the team and for Giannis for them to move on and get some assets.
Yes. Yeah. So they had 3 teams, which I said one of them was OKC. Another one was Houston. I forgot the assets they had involved in that trade with OKC.
I feel like OKC has a better package, but go ahead.
Better package. And then they were saying San Antonio, if you packaged it up,
Castle gotta go. Yeah, you can't keep Castle and Giannis. Like y'all was able to keep him when you finessed us here in Sacramento, but no, if you get Giannis and you're the Spurs, Castle got to go.
Castle. He got to go. So they were talking about Castle, Harrison Barnes, and a couple draft picks for Giannis to come play there.
Fleece Johnson.
Yeah.
Goodness, yeah. Fleece Johnson. Literally. Y'all don't know that reference.
They don't. If you don't know, you don't know. But Fleece for real. Fleece Johnson for real. So, and they had mentioned one other team, and I forgot what the other team. Oh, the Sixers. But I'm like, why would you want to go ahead and go to Philly?
Paul George?
In Philly. Well, they would keep Paul George, and they would keep
Maxey ain't going nowhere.
They were talking about putting Maxey in that trade.
Oh, nah.
That's what Nick Wright was saying that, and then Chris Broussard was like, well, no, I feel like Maxey's a good player. Why would you want to put Maxey in that trade?
I do Embiid. Now,
but then what do you,
I do Embiid. I would,
Would you?
Yes. Because you have Giannis who he's always healthy. He has no major injuries. And I feel like he's way better. He's going to be in better shape. He's already won a championship. Definitely. If you surround him with some shooters and give him a Maxey with a Paul George, maybe like get a couple ancillary guys who could shoot and play defense. And I know I know Embiid is beloved by that franchise, but I would. I would.
They definitely had Maxey a part of that deal. Maxey, some draft picks, and one other player.
Maxey is too young and too good to
let go.
Nah, because Giannis has been playing, and like I said, I didn't know until earlier today that he's been playing. I didn't realize it. 12 seasons.
That's a long time, and
Giannis been playing 12 seasons.
Hey, did not know that.
Like, how fast does time go? Like, I'm like, what?
You seem like he just got into the league.
Yeah, but 12 seasons, So, I mean, he's in the middle of his prime. You got to maximize that. So, I understand. He's 30 years old. Probably has like at least another 4 years for his prime. I like the OKC. I feel like it makes sense for both teams. Because if you're Milwaukee, you get a Chet back, maybe another couple good, decent players, and you're not really blowing it up if you're OKC. You are losing some, you're replacing Chet for Giannis, but you might have to give up a couple other good players. But you can find guys like that, that play hard and buy into a system. You can find those guys, and you got picks if you're OKC. So I feel like that works for both teams because Milwaukee's probably looking to kind of a soft rebuild at that point. So they're going to need first round picks. So I kind of like that.
Yes.
Houston. I don't know what Houston would give up. I don't know what.
They had on the board. I forgot who they were talking about.
Jabari Smith, maybe.
Jabari Smith name came up. I want to say one of the Green twins name came up.
Or Jalen Green.
Jalen Green, yeah, it was like him, Jalen Green, and a couple of draft picks. Ooh, so like
they wouldn't want Giannis with Jalen Green.
And that's what
Şengün, you know.
Yeah, if I would do that, like I want him.
Tari Eason, they got Tari Eason out there. They got Jabari Smith. You got Dylan Brooks. You got Van Vliet. You got, I don't know what picks they have, but I'm sure Milwaukee's going to want some picks because Milwaukee's going to have to start rebuilding.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. They're going to have to definitely want some picks in return in order for them to go ahead and rebuild.
That's going to be it. Hey, I know we talked about it before. I know it's never going to happen.
What's that? He ain't comes to the Kings, bro. Forget that. Throw that out the window, man.
Bro,
throw that out the
window. Hey, can we just play? Hey, can we just
open that up, man? Throw that out.
Can we just play fantasy GM, man? Hey, Keegan Murray.
You ready to come off Keegan now? You ready to come off Keegan?
I wouldn't want to, but they would want somebody young in return. Keegan, DeRozan. Start there. Just start there. But we ain't got no pick. Well, no, we might got some picks in a couple years. Because if you got, or you know what? I'll do Sabonis. Because he's in his 20s still. Center, double machine. He can average 20 and 10 a night, 20 and 12 a night.
The only way I see that happening, bro, is if you're coming off Sabonis, Keegan.
Damn.
I don't think they want DeRozan, so we're gonna throw it out there.
You probably don't want DeRozan.
The only reason why I say that, no disrespect towards DeRozan.
Hey, Monk.
They would probably have to throw in like a Monk or a Keon Ellis or Devin Carter along with a pick or
you can have Devin Carter. You got do what you will with him, but I want to keep Keon Ellis because if you do trade a Monk, you got to keep Keon Ellis. So if you do like a Sabonis Monk package, Devin Carter, maybe like 2 picks.
Nah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, right, but
that's better than anything Houston has to offer. That's better than anything Houston has to offer because you get Sabonis. I don't think people realize how good Sabonis is. Sabonis is a top big in the league.
Yes, he is.
Like, let's not forget that.
If you're talking about getting probably a Jabari Smith and a Jalen Green,
that's not as good as Sabonis and Keith.
And they were talking about Şengün too as well, or possibly having Şengün a part of that package. You're going to go ahead and make that trade if you're.
I don't know if I'm Houston. See. The only reason I say, and normally I would not say Sabonis, but the only reason I'm saying that is because I just feel like, all right, we kind of see that it hasn't really worked out with him. They kind of paired him with Fox. Fox is gone. You bring in, let's say you have a Giannis, Keegan, Levine, right. Kind of core with Keon Ellis, things like that. But I feel like I just feel like Sabonis. He's a huge asset. He's a huge asset.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like I said, I feel like, in all honesty, that the Kings are gonna have to give up a lot in order to go ahead and get back. And it damn near might be them cutting that roster out. And what I mean by that is basically you're taking away listen to this. You're taking away Sabonis. You're taking away Murray. You're taking away either Keon. Try
to keep Murray. I would say Sabonis and Monk is a hell of a package.
Hey, nah,
in the East, no, stop.
No, I'm not making that trade for Giannis. Not doing it. Nah.
You're not doing.
I'm the Bucks. I'm not doing that.
If you're the Bucks, you're not doing it.
No, because you gotta understand. So who are you gonna? So who they don't have no.
So you would take. Now. So you would. All right. Let me get this straight. So if you're the Bucks,
yeah.
If you're the Bucks,
go ahead.
You would take a Chet Holmgren package before it's a bonus package.
Yes, because of what you're getting.
Why? Because he's younger. He's not better.
That could be.
You better stop it. Chet is not better than Sabonis. Stop it.
He's not. But I'm saying
Chet is not better than Sabonis. You better stop playing.
Let me stop. I ain't gonna pull a Teddy on here. So let me go ahead and stop that. So yeah, let me stop myself from sounding crazy. So no, he's not better than Sabonis. But what I'm saying to you though is, if I feel like in listening to the breakdown of what they were talking about, the the Thunder have more
like picks,
picks for picks, but and also for players. Like I said, The only way a Kings deal gets done like this, you're gutting that team, bro. You're taking away the Sabonis, you're taking away the Murray, you're taking away either Keon Ellis or Monk, and you're taking away a draft pick. That's the only way I see it happening. You're gonna have to get rid of the player they wanted to go ahead and come in.
You're gonna have to get rid of at least probably 3 really good players.
3, yes, of course, to go ahead and get Giannis. And then at that point, it's what you're just gonna have Giannis and LaVine on your team, and Valanciunas.
Yeah,
that's not gonna work.
But if you added him to this group, if there was a hypothetical way, which it can't happen, but if you just put Giannis with these guys, hey, that'd be nasty.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it would be.
That's championship. If you know what I'm saying, but it's not gonna happen. But
if you added Giannis to the current roster they have now, take away a couple guys, like you get rid of DeRozan. You know, I don't know who else they would probably lose in the situation, but you know, if you can go ahead and just pick and plug him there, take away a couple little pieces here and there, then yeah, we would be talking about this team being an actual championship team contend. See,
that's where the Kings. I wish they were able, and not even just talking about Giannis specifically, but if they were able to to accumulate some first round picks from somewhere, some team, that's where you can have a little bit of leverage. Like, hey, we'll give you. Plus like these 2 first round picks.
Yeah, and protected first round picks.
Right.
At that.
So then it's like, you know, but now it's gonna be interesting to see where Giannis goes, because wherever he goes, I kind of do feel like, not even just talking about the Kings, wherever he goes, they're gonna have to give up some players.
They are.
They're gonna have to give up some guys for sure. And it's gonna be hard.
I told you it's gonna be one of them KD situations, like how KD did with the Suns, you know, and they had to gut that whole, you know, starting roster and bench in order for them to go ahead and get KD.
What about this?
Like to be honest,
a package that starts with Bam Adebayo if you're Miami for Giannis. We don't know what else, but like just saying like it starts there. Well, Bam.
Well, I know they were saying Miami was one of the possible destinations for him to go ahead
and it would have to be Bam, because you can't have them play together.
No.
Like, nah.
And the thing about it is, man, one thing I can say about Pat Riley is he definitely gets very creative when trying to put together that roster. So it would not surprise me or shock me if he's able to go ahead and keep Bam a part of that team and still be able to get Giannis. And like I said, it might have to be a 3-team trade. You're gonna have to bring in a 3rd team in order to facilitate that situation. It's probably gonna be just Giannis coming back to Miami and everybody else going.
So my partner texted me this morning and he was talking about a team that he hates. He was like, man, what if he went to the Lakers? I was like, how would that work? He was like, man, well, here's the thing. If Brown took less money, you know what I'm saying? Right. And now you package up maybe like a Rui, Austin Reeves, you know, maybe kind of start something there. You know, maybe like another player or something. I'm like, but I don't know if they got any picks either. See, that's the thing. When you get...
Lakers are no picks. I think they traded some of those picks in that Luka trade, didn't they?
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, so...
The only way that would work for LA is if they come off of Rui. They come off of Reeves. They come off of maybe Dog Connect. Maybe a pick.
Do you
I just don't know what?
Does he come out west? Does he come out to a Western Conference team? Because who in the East?
The only 3 teams I can see him coming to at this point. Like I said, there might be some other sleeper teams out there. I would say it'd have to be the Rockets, the Thunder, or the Spurs if he does come out west. I will not be shocked because, like I said, you know, the Lakers are the Lakers. And they somehow, some way find ways to get superstar players to come play in La La Land. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they go ahead and get him. You know, they're always able to figure out how to go ahead and get a superstar player to come out here to come play. But we all know, and you just made a good point, which is very, very valid, is that when you got LeBron making over 55 mil, you added Luka, who's making over 50 mil too as well. That's taking up a large chunk of your salary cap there.
That's a lot.
Yes. Yeah. So in order for that to happen, they're gonna need LeBron. If LeBron wants to actually cement his name, quote unquote, in the GOAT status, of being the best player ever.
You got to take less money, bro. If you want to win, you got to take less money.
You got to take less money. And I mean, he's well off right now. So it's like, hey, LeBron, come play for.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Or 20 million. You don't really need it like that. You're getting all your other money from endorsement deals, your other businesses that you have going on. So in my opinion, hey, look, you know what? For the better of the team, and in order to go ahead and keep you guys still contending after I retire, I'll take 15. I'll take 20. I'll take 10.
For a chance at a championship this next season.
Win one more, possibly, maybe two, and then move on from the franchise, but still be able to go ahead and have you guys still competing after I leave.
Yeah.
So that's the only way I can probably see that happening. And I don't know if LeBron's willing to go ahead and do that. We'll have to wait and see.
That's gonna be really interesting. Where Giannis goes, that's going to be very interesting because it can shift a lot of things.
Yes, I think it will.
If he goes to San Antonio, man, you will have him, Wemby, and De'Aaron Fox. Now, you always talk about having to gut your team. Castle would no longer be there.
Right. And I would live with
there's no way they could finesse two teams into not giving up Castle. There's no way they can do that. Right? Is there? Like,
it'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if they did. That would be super crazy if they were able to go ahead and keep Castle, finesse, and get Giannis to come.
They would probably try to throw like a Devin Vassell, like Zach Collins ain't there no more. Like you said, Harrison Barnes.
Like, it's gonna be Barnes for sure because Barnes is on an expiring contract and they're gonna want to go ahead and come off of that. So
if Milwaukee went for Milwaukee might be more focused on the picks and the players though. I ain't gonna lie,
they are
because if they can get 3 first rounders for him,
you're able to build your team if you pick the correct players,
right?
And possibly be back in contention with competing shots
within the next few years, next few seasons,
next few years to get back to the playoffs.
Yeah, so they're giving them the honest. You're looking for picks. You're not, because I don't think you're looking to immediately compete right now. Like, you probably do want to stay competitive, but you're not looking like, okay, we're gonna win it. You're not winning a championship anytime soon now. If you know what I'm saying. So San Antonio, damn, yeah. If they got the pick, whoever got the picks, that's who.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. You know,
okay. See,
we're talking about the teams. They were talking about the teams that had the picks.
I say Chet picks. That's probably the best.
Houston Rockets, they got picks and players. The San Antonio Spurs, they got picks and players. So they're pretty much basing around the fact of, like what you just said too, as well, is that they want picks and they want these first round protected picks so that way they can go ahead and build eventually for the future.
Right.
So you don't have any valid first round picks that are protected, and they're not going to go for that. They're not going to happen.
Wow, I forgot the lottery was on right here. Did they already get it going?
Nah, it's going to come on right now. So it's the best chance.
Keon Ellis is representing the Kings right there. So hopefully the Kings can get into the top 12, because if they get into the top 12, they get to keep their pick. Is that correct?
Yes,
I believe. But if they fall out of the 12, that pick goes to Atlanta, I believe.
And in Atlanta, I think they give it to San Antonio, don't they?
I think you're right. You're right.
If we do get in there, if we don't get in there, it goes to them, and then from there they got to go ahead and give it to what's called.
I think you're right. So So the lottery is happening as we're doing this video. So tomorrow we're going to talk about this. We're going to see where the Kings fall. We're definitely going to talk about that. We're going to know where Cooper Flagg goes. So we're going to talk about that mix. We didn't talk about that. If he gets drafted, if he gets to San Antonio, so you would have Flagg, Wemby, Giannis, Fox.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna see.
They were saying that that if there's a possibility if Utah Jazz gets the number 1 pick, they would not be opposed to taking the trade and trading to somebody.
Why?
That's just rambles that I've seen on.
No, Flagg, you're coming to Utah. What? Whoever gets the number 1 pick, you're coming here.
Yeah, you're talking about Utah. Well, right at that time, Utah was.
The Pelicans have a 12.5 chance for the number 1 pick.
They sure do.
Hey, Zion and Cooper. Hey, no, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be a fun night. So, I know this is gonna be a good night. Hey, we got the Knicks tonight against. We got Knicks and Boston tonight, and we also have Minnesota and the Warriors. We didn't really talk about that series, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow. We're going to talk about the games that are played tonight. We're going to talk about the lottery tomorrow. We're going to get back at y'all, man. It's going to be a fun NBA night. Monday night too, man. An exciting Monday night in the NBA. So
the week off.
Stealth, Dope Boy, On That No Rim. Like, comment, subscribe. We're going to get back at you tomorrow. Peace.
Sir.